But she has a motion. Do we have any visitors other than we have some visitors? Are you on our agenda to talk, or you just, or you giving your presentation?
I was gonna give her a reprieve, but her
No.
leadership teacher did not, like, we were gonna start next time, because I think we have so many things going on, but Miss Bowles was like, just come in.
No reprieve for that. Okay, awesome.
So she's our new student representative this year.
Wonderful. Thank you, Elise. So you were close to the top. We'll get going. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda? I move to approve the agenda for today.
Second that.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? I move to approve the consent agenda for today.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. You're up. Student representative.
Told you we'd be fast.
Okay, so I'm Elise Thakra. I'm a junior at Creswell High School, and I'm also the ASB president. I'll talk about like orientation. We just had freshman orientation. It went really well. We had, I think it was like 25 student mentors, which was really great. It was nice to have that many leaders for the high school, and it was minion themed. We had a really great slideshow that our spirit team made, and they made these like AI pictures to make minions look like all of our staff members. They were really cute.
Pretty accurate.
Yes, they were.
I
It was
guess
kind of
that.
Yes,
I
worship was great.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. And we had our activity fair at the end of the day. I have a list of like all the clubs and fall sports that we offer. Where we had HOSA, FBLA, National Honor Society, Peace Club, Poetry Club, Outdoor Club, DJ Club, Yearbook, FFA, Drama Club, and then we had soccer, football, volleyball, cross country, and cheer. I don't think cheer was there, but it's still offered. And then, we just finished up like our first week of school, getting into our classes. Right now I'm taking Spanish 2, physics, leadership, and advanced U.S. history. Been doing like a lot of icebreakers and new stuff for all our classes, getting the syllabus and finally getting into actual work. It's been nice. It's like the first few days are just like dreadful. It's like, will we actually do something? But we're getting into it now, so it's better. We have a new phone policy at the high school. I don't really mind it. I think it's kind of nice. But a lot of the other kids aren't loving it, I don't think. But they'll be okay. And then we've got homecoming next month. Looking forward to getting to watch some fall sports games, football, volleyball mostly. I don't really watch much other than that, but I try to stay involved with them. And then, yeah, excited for the year, excited for softball in the spring. And lastly, I had a few students ask me within the past like a few days about getting like toilet seat liners in the bathrooms, which is like the only thing that I have to bring today. I love it. Mainly, I think in like the bathrooms by the gyms, you know, things in there is what maybe I think, but that was a request that I had. I think that's all.
Okay, you did awesome. Thank you
you.
for coming. We truly appreciate you coming and doing this every month. Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
And you are welcome to stay, but you are also welcome to go at any time if you want. Okay. Okay, next we have Miss Hunter and her Costa Rica trip.
Hello, nice to see you all again, board members. Yeah, I had a great summer, mainly because it started off with a fantastic trip to Costa Rica with some students. So This was my fourth student trip, and I honestly think it was probably the best one so far. Each one gets a little bit better. We had a fantastic tour guide, but also the students were just an amazing group, so, I have lots of fun things to share with you. So we left on June 25th on a red eye, and we were supposed to come back on July 4th, we ended up coming back July 5th. We'll talk about that at the end. Alright, so a couple numbers associated with our tour. We had 12 students, 2 adults, 1 tour guide, 1 bus driver. We went to 4 hotels. We had 2 city scavenger hunts during the tour. We went on 4 farm tours. We saw 3 different types of monkeys. We saw 2 different types of sloths, and we saw like so many sloths. It was amazing. We had 1 dance lesson that freaked everybody out, but it was great. 1 bingo night, with a local family that was like just an amazing experience, and so much swimming. We swam like every day. We swam in rivers, lakes, the ocean, hot springs, pools. It was great. Good time. So before we go into like our days, I just wanted to say thank you to our guides and our chaperones. So, Ryan was the local Costa Rican guide that was with us 24/7. He was fantastic, just super knowledgeable of all the like local flora and fauna, and just so willing to go above and beyond for us to like find the things that the kids wanted to see. I mean, we were like, we want to see this, this, and this, and he was like, got it, here it is, and he showed us. It was awesome. And then Rodolfo was our amazing bus driver the whole time, and Kesh, you hopefully all know, came on the tour as my second adult. Part of the reason she wanted to come as my chaperone was because she's going to be leading the trip to Italy this coming June 2025, and she wanted to get some experience with the tour company and kind of see how the tours flow and how that goes. And so we spent a lot of the time on the trip kind of talking through scenarios and just kind of getting her prepared for her own trip. So it was a good exchange. And in exchange, I get to be her chaperone to Italy. So
Fantastic.
So we started the tour in kind of the northwest corner of Costa Rica in Guanacaste, the region of Guanacaste and the city of Liberia. Some highlights from that area, we saw howler monkeys on the very first afternoon, straight off the plane. So that was really cool. The next day, we had a tour of the farm that we were staying on. So they showed us how they kind of managed to have all these tourists come, but like stay sustainable. So some kids got to milk some cows, and we learned how they change all of the, waste of a farm into fresh, clean water for like the plants and things like that. So it was very interesting. We made some empanadas and got to eat those later. That evening, we went to the hot springs, got to relax. It was really cool. And then the next day, in the heat and humidity, we did a citywide scavenger hunt in the city of Liberia. And that was stressful for people that are having to go up and ask people for help and like to buy things in the market and stuff in Spanish. So we're kind of throwing them into the deep end. So this tour did have a language immersion piece to it. So they were very nervous. We had to really talk them up, but we had success. You can see in the lower left-hand corner, the girls are all drinking some juice out of a bag that they bought. And drinking juice out of a bag was a new experience for someone. And then you can see Cameron is walking through the market there, having a good time. So yeah, it was great. It was like the local markets are like, but actually talk to people in Spanish. It was great. Nice. From there, we went to a little farther inland to the Arenal region in the city of La Fortuna. So some highlights from that, those couple of days where we did another sustainable farm tour. At this one, everybody got to hold baby pigs, so that was really great. And then we also learned how to make cheese. So that's the lower right-hand corner picture. I thought that was great because it was conducted fully in Spanish. Everybody got to do a piece of the process, and then we got to eat the cheese for lunch. However, if you look, if you're able to look closely at Dakota's face, you can see it was maybe not the favorite, it's not the most favorite activity. They're a little grossed out by all the like pieces of the process, but everybody tried. It was good, it was very good. That was the day we saw our first sloth, so that was exciting, and our tour guide and Ryan had this amazing scope that let us zoom in and take super close, like high res pictures of these animals living. He was up in a tree, you know, so it was pretty cool. In that area, we also went kayaking and zip lining, and that one was a special challenge for some kids, like afraid of heights, but everybody did it. They did all the stations, it was really good. And then we did our second city scavenger hunt, where we had to go buy like produce, like these plantains, things like that, in the local markets again. And the second one was so much better than the first. It was awesome. They were they were a little bit more ready to speak Spanish with a little bit less encouragement. And they kind of knew what to say and do and stuff. It was really cool. And then our last area we went to was Sarpiki and the city of Sarchi. So in Sarpiki, our highlight was the dance lesson. So we learned from this amazing local dancer. She actually taught us a variety of different types of dances, not just salsa. And everybody was like super nervous about that. All day long, they were like, oh my God, I can't learn to dance. But then it turned out to be like the best event of the trip, I think. So everyone had a good time. We also went on a fruit farm tour that had all the variety of tropical fruits. So we had to try a lot of new things. We went whitewater rafting, which was also a highlight of the trip. Bingo night is the top right picture. So a local family in Sarpiki has been hosting tour groups like this for, I think she said 18 years. They had us come and eat dinner with them and meet their whole family. It was really cool because that family has a bunch of twins in it. And we also had Dakota and Taylor with us. So that was kind of cool. And we all learned the word for twins in Spanish. And then we got to play bingo and we won these little candy bars called Yippies that everybody loves, so. We went on a pineapple farm tour and ate so much pineapple. And then ended our time in Sarchi doing an artisan painting class. So we have to paint kind of a design that's very traditional design from that area. And then on our way back, we had a flight delay, which meant we spent the 4th of July in Miami and not in Creswell, like no sick plan. So there were some emotions about that we could work through. But in the end, I think it was a really good learning experience, actually, that like, you know, travel, it doesn't always go how you plan, and you gotta just try to make the best of it. So we ended up, half the group went to go see a Marlins Red Sox game in Miami, and the other half went to Miami Beach. And someone got to swim in the ocean for the first time ever, so that was cool.
They were hurting on that.
No, they were fine. They were great.
My heart hurts.
Right, like you can be in Creswell Report anytime. Yeah, so that was our trip. It was fantastic and I'm really looking forward to Peru in 2026. So thanks so much for letting me come and show you again. It was great. And I always appreciate your continued support of these trips. Thank you.
And this is one of our favorite things for every
Yeah.
other year. Very excited to hear it.
We appreciate you coming to show us the pictures
Anytime.
Very much.
and can we do like a board trip to Peru?
Because we have I would just want to go to Peru, yeah.
We'll be probably a lot more work than they are, because we don't speak much Spanish.
You will by the end, because it's a language immersion.
Okay, fair. Oh, thank you so much. And next up is Mr. Stanford.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard.
Yeah, sorry.
The fight life almost caused us an issue because one of your students was our house sitter for our.
There was general plan.
There was some house sitter for our dog.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I know, there was a lot of results.
So, I know you guys are, I posted in on my board report in April and May. That we earned the quality program assessment, award. That came out officially, with the board, approving it in July. And the press release got out in August, so kind of talking a little bit what that looks like. It's a pretty cool award. It's put on by the National Scholastic Administrators Association, which most of the AVs in the state of Oregon are, because we're a dual credit state. So when we become a state member, we're also tied to the national association. It helps with professional development, helps with classes, helps with insurance. They give us $2 million in insurance liabilities. You know, something were to happen, which is good for us. So they created in 2009, this award. It's national, I think international now. And so it was basically a chance to showcase athletic departments throughout the country, kind of with the same requirements and the same like grading, so we could kind of compare ourselves to what things are going on throughout the country, because every state's a little different and how they do things, and every school's a little different as well. The way I describe it, the best way is essentially, it's like an accreditation process we do for the academic side. It's an accreditation process for the athletic side. And so we'll talk about what that looks like and what we're going into that. There's 10 categories that they assess, that you have to have for the award to be earned. We are one of 24 schools this year to earn it. One of 26, or we have to be 26 awards given out, because we've been 2 international ones, which is pretty cool too. It's spreading worldwide. And we're the only second school in Oregon to earn it, that we've earned in 2021. So it's kind of very on the kind of pinnacle here in the state. So qualifications to even be able to submit for the QPA. So for me, the AV, I had to be a member of the NCAA, which I am, and I'm a certified athletic administrator already. So you have to have that distinction. To have that distinction, you have to take so many certain classes, LTI classes, being an administrator for so long, you have to submit an application, and you know, being on committees, and you know, being dean of students or assistant principal, and all those things that go into it. So once I've had that since 2018. To start the process, you have to take an online class. It was a 4-hour class in July of 2023. And then submit the application within 18 months. I've taken that class. So you have an 18-month window. So why did I think that the QPA was important? You know, for us, when I was got explained to me, and kind of they showcased in AAA. One of it was, you know, determining a long-term strategic planning for just the athletic department. You know, what are our goals, you know, facility-wise, what are our goals with coaches and professional development, our student athletes, and just kind of looking at what that looks like in a way that, one, I got a ton of examples from other schools, so it wasn't like I had to recreate the wheel. And two, you know, really codify just kind of where we're at, and, you know, what we do well, what we don't do well, and how can we improve. And like I said, you know, gives you kind of an opportunity to see what other schools are doing. Like, oh yeah, I like that piece, or you know, we can't do that. I get to go bigger school, but I like some of that, and kind of pick and choose, and help us grow and kind of continue, and just kind of, you know, give us a year goal, a 5-year goal, 2-year goal, kind of down the road. Also build community support for all our stakeholders. You know, I thought it would be really cool to get this, and we were able to earn it, and you know, like I said, being the second school in the state of Oregon, I felt like, you know, very proud that, you know, we are so connected. You know, I talk to ADs across the state all the time, and, you know, they don't have the board support, they don't have the superintendent support, they don't have the community support, and to have been able to tie all those things together, because we really needed all those pieces to be able to qualify for this work. We just highlight our athletic program. You know, our kids do amazing things. You know, Lisa is here, you know, playing softball, student body president. You know, we do, you know, have so many people that do drama and band and sports and all these other clubs, that it's really cool to be able to showcase our kids to the nation. And then, you know, starting school community recognition at the national and state levels, and then finally overall areas of improvement. Because it was really designed not to necessarily just be pat on the back, but to really work and see, okay, where can we do better too. So the 10 categories of the QPA. Philosophy, so kind of how you shape in your athletic department. You know, what's your goal, what's your kind of, you know, message that you send, that, you know, it's not X's and O's, it's not on the playing field. Developing character, developing student athletes, being, you know, someone that is trying to, you know, grow good adults, have good coaching staffs, what that looks like. Educational compatibility, largely on me, kind of where I'm at, there's a lot of stuff about, stuff that we're doing as far as professional development and things we're putting in place, making sure our coaches are certified, making sure our coaches are trained, and, making sure they're getting, mentors and things out from outside, having connections so we can grow that. Mentoring staff and student leaders, so, we have groups that, are helping our student, whether it's our coaches, our teachers, student mentoring, and then, likewise mentoring the staff and the coaches, having the coaches mentor each other from experience to inexperience, so we kind of, create a good culture and create something that's sustainable, even if we lose a coach or, get a new coach or hire somebody. One of the big ones, program safety and risk management, where's our facilities at, where's our stuff, where our inventory is at, is there anything that we're lacking safety wise, is there anything we need to improve on? Inventory, buses, just trying to go through that whole thing. Communication, program access and equity, where's our equity, for our students, how many boys and girls are out, how many, kids per grade level, and what's our IEP students, what's our 504 students who's involved, trying to get, the unified program back if we're going, that we had a couple years ago, those kind of things, and making sure everybody has equitable access, they're being involved and, really trying to be leaders. Budget, are we doing the right things on the budget lines, checking in, our revenue, checking our booster club connections, making sure, super transparent. Where's the budget coming from, the general fund and, making sure we're compliant with Title IX and, different sports are getting the same access and the same money and the same opportunity. Personal program assessment, so, coaching evaluations and what we're looking at there, how we're doing that. Technology, from our, Facebook and Twitter posts to what we're doing for registration and those kinds of things. The big one was sports medicine, so this one wouldn't have been possible a couple years ago because there was a whole category of what, the athletic trainer is. And access to athletic trainer, like we have a physical therapist that comes in on Mondays. Access to physicians, other people on the football field, for injuries and things like that. So that was a big one that we wouldn't have been able to do a few years ago until we had Jennifer walking around. So that was super cool. Then innovation and creative leadership strategies, kind of where we're headed, and the strategic planning process. So the process itself, like I said, it started with the class in 2023, and we submitted for approval in April 2024. I had initial class, I met with the committee on the training about how to actually submit the form. It's all online, which was super nice. Then we actually get assigned a mentor. So my mentor was from Wisconsin. She passed her PPA in 2023. So she was helping me guide, and I submit a document, and like, oh no, we need a little more information, or we need a little more specificity, or go back and forth, and or she's like, yeah, great, like submit it, or give me copies of documents if I didn't have something I needed to have. You gotta earn at least 80% on each of the 10 categories. You can submit one category at a time, it didn't have to be in order. I was trying to go in order, and then that became kind of reasonable, because I had some stuff, oh, that's a really good hitter, so I just started submitting it and kind of keeping track as I go, so you can kind of, you could submit it and see, like, give yourself a kind of a guesstimate score, that way you can kind of see like a placeholder where you were, and then you can go back and improve if you needed to, so that made it a little bit easier. Not my plan originally, but it actually worked out better. And then there's, documents you can submit, it's blind scored by 2 different people that I never met, never knew, never had a name for. And they would say, yeah, this one didn't work, this one didn't count, or this one wasn't high enough, go back and redo it, or I need to see this, or what have you. So it wasn't like, I had to submit everything at once, and at school, like it was a working document that I could go back and forth. So I started with the areas that were strongest, and I know we had documentation already that I had saved. So the areas that I thought we were strongest to start with was the philosophy, the compatibility, and the technology. The categories that took the most development were program equity, just in the sense that some of those things are really hard to report, and I kind of really dive into, Title IX and did some of that stuff, and wanted, where Title IX coordinator was, and some of the documents that are board policy that you had to kind of read through. Of course, medicine one was just so new, and we didn't have a lot of, past documentation because we hadn't had the trainer here. And the mentoring piece, largely because we're just a small school, like we don't have 50 coaches that, we divvy out. We have, our coaches that, we all know and have a relationship with many of them from the district, so, you know, the mentoring piece, you know, coach to coach, is something that we're still growing. So, like I said, PA scoring 80% of the categories, I'll give you some examples in a little bit, 251 documents were collected, 203 documents were used, you have to use the same document multiple times, which was nice. So it could actually fit, you know, multiple categories. When it was all said and done, it was 96.6%. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, it should have been higher, but I submitted one. And I hadn't really ready to submit the last category yet, and they got me a call and said, congratulations, you're approved. And I said, well, I wasn't done yet, again. Try to go a little bit higher. I'll show you some examples of the documents that we had to submit. So this is probably one of the biggest ones. That took the longest. So our emergency action plan, documentation. So if there was ever an emergency, they essentially want one for each field that you participate on. So we have one for baseball, softball, football, you know, contacts, where the AEDs are at, kind of a script, you know, what people should do. And it's a big binder, and then, you know, we'll give the coaches out their individual sport binders, so they have that, along with, going through like, here each team will put their name on, football just went through and did this, last week. Where they actually go through and practice the scenario, where they're, you know, calling ambulance, or who's getting AED, who's, you know, directing traffic, and, Jennifer's taking the point on that one this year, so we can go through and make sure that we just know where everything is at. One of the cool things that, you know, happen with this process is we got another, portable AED donated last spring. So we're mandating that if we're going over the Cascades, the bus has an AED on the bus. So that's pretty cool, kind of a medical desert.
This is new,
But,
this year,
but,
this,
yeah, Magic Action Plan.
yeah.
Yeah, we've been trying to roll it out like a little bit at a time. But like I said, with this award and being able to document this and have it more codified,
Yeah.
like we're rolling it out like way more in force. So we have, yeah, that plan.
Get it.
It's also,
I never seen it before.
it's a big push for the state, like the state to just make sure, because we, you know, they've had instances where people, you know, students have died, or, you know, we've had, you know, different incidents. And so like, yeah, you have like, they wanted like specific, scenarios, like a power outage, like what happens in a power outage, like, and, you know, that's one of the ones where I didn't, you know, didn't necessarily create this whole document. I took a document, a couple documents that people had, and took the best parts of it. So that people can say, okay, you know, one of our EAs is doing supervision, you know, has this, they can, you know, help out too, so. So we're working with that. It'll take a little bit to roll out completely, and be comfortable, at least we have it, ready to go. So some other things that we did, this is just a kind of rough strategic planning, document. Takes a lot of the bond stuff in at the time, where we're at with the bond, and, kind of where we're going, and some, you know, dreaming stuff, you know, on my end when we go. So we wanted to kind of see what, you know, what was, you know, really short term, midterm, long term, who was involved, where was the funding gonna come from, was the funding, luckily, like for us, you know, like I said, a lot was bond oriented, so, yeah, it was kind of a little easier for us, like in the city, to be able to use bonding. This is one that this is our master transportation. Our master transportation spreadsheet. So this is what Sarah and I share, so we know which buses are going out at the times. This is part of the communication piece and transportation piece. So who's home, who's away, so all of our secretaries have that. This is a really good document that we're starting to implement more and more too. Talking about parent athlete coach communication expectations. So like, you know, what's the chain of command, where can you get messaging from? You know, how do you handle a situation where, you know, you feel like you're signing off from playing more, or you have an issue with a coach, and like, you know, just kind of what that looks like. And what we really want to see to have the most success. You know, things that are appropriate to talk about, things that are inappropriate, you know, talking about other student athletes. You know, team strategy or play calling, like something like that, where we're trying to coach and kind of take that off. So it's a newer document that we're working with. One of the cool things that I love about this project was we got to do some really cool things. I appreciate the students for letting me take their pictures all the time, but this was, we hosted a league, leadership summit last year. And the people you see talking, there's some U of O athletes that got to come and share their experiences. So we broke up into tables and talked about sportsmanship and equity and how you get more people involved, how, you know, be a better captain, and brought all the teams from the league together at the U of O and got to meet with some cool student athletes. And they did a great job kind of speaking, you know, from where they're from, their experiences, and obviously being D1 athletes, you know, what the highs and lows of their life have been. So it was pretty cool too.
That is so awesome that you hosted that. For some reason, I missed that you did that. But helping me able to develop the student, like the athlete leader, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, which I mean, as the league, we're trying to do like more like, you know, I call it like captain council for us this year, not our last year. Some other schools call it something different, but like we kind of all got together, so like, you know, we just feel like we all play, you know, multiple sports, they kind of get to know each other and, you know, kind of give them some voice and, you know, trying to, so sorry, like I said, last year was the first one. Obviously, as anything in the first year is, you know, some strength and weaknesses on the rollout, so we're gonna try and do it again this year. One of the biggest ones was that we had it planned, and then the ice storm hit. It was right in the middle of the ice storm when we were gonna do it. And so by the time we redid it, like it was, you know, kind of into the spring, so we are into the winter season, so it was kind of tough to like really implement like kind of some of the stuff we wanted to do, but we're gonna try and hopefully do this at somewhat scale and you know, year-to-year basis, so we get the league together and we go. So the value that I felt like we added to the athletic program, you know, at CHS and community wide, obviously emerging action plan for me is a big one, you know, making sure that we're solid on that and getting better at that every year about what our expectations are for student athletes, our coaches and emergency. Create documents to improve communication and transparency with our parents, with our student athletes. And I mean, showcase the good work that I coaches do. Like I feel like, you know, I'm pretty lucky that, you know, I have the coaching staff that I do to work with and that for our student athletes. And, you know, showcase our student athletes the other day, because I feel, you know, they do a great job, you know, day in, day out. We'll keep our pride in the school community with this award, as I create long-term strategies. So where is this gonna come from? There's an article in Chronicle in August about the award. We will be receiving our actual plaque at the National 80 Conference in Austin in December. In front of everybody, special ceremony, which will be super cool. We'll also get a banner emailed to us that we can put up in the gym that says we're a recipient of this. We're hoping to get it by the end of football season, so we can have kind of a presentation at halftime for our community. It'll be on the AAA website, it'll be on the magazine. For me personally, it was my capstone project to get my last credential. So I just got word last week that I'm now a certified master athletic administrator, which is the highest one we can get. So that was kind of like giving me like a personal proof value, which is super cool, and thankful for that.
Congratulations, Brandon.
So, like I said, special thanks to our student athletes for their work and willingness to bring photos and you know, do all those kind of crazy things. The coaches for their input and help because you know they helped me submit the practice plans and photos that they were doing and things like that. And then obviously Jennifer, I'd like to share for her section specifically. So thank you guys for your time, and if you guys have any questions, let me know.
You liken this to an accreditation program, and typically those are only active for so long, and then you have to go through another evaluation. Is that the case with this?
No, we'll be that way forever. Improve perpetuity for that. So unless they change that and they AAA level and make us like recertified. But like I said, yeah, they go, once you have it, and you list on the website, there's a big long list of every year's recipients and do that forever.
With the emergency management planning that you did, do you share those documents with like our local sheriff and EMS folks? So they have the maps in, they know
We're working
what
with,
to expect?
we started that conversation with Southland Fire a couple weeks ago, to try and have that. We haven't had a ton of relationship. Apparently there was a previous principal that kind of burned a bridge there, so we're trying to rebrand that a little bit. So we did talk to them last week and, you know, working towards that, but yeah, so that's part of the work in progress. And like I said, making sure, you know, once we get, you know, this kind of going for all of our seasons, you know, coaches kind of get used to it, I'll get kind of get a good rhythm with it. And like I said, it'll lead updating every so often, but we're excited about, you know, just having it ready to go and you know, kind of package plan was especially getting a new coach, and whatever, it's like, here's your, what happens, and, train our students too, because it's nice, with this first medicine program, some of our kids are already getting first aid CPR certified, so we can, kind of build off that as well too, and now they can help out, because, essentially, if the coach goes down to practice, and maybe a student out, I think that, that's a give the most help, so.
There was a couple mentions of a strategic plan, a long-term strategic plan for facilities in the department. That's something we have.
I have a document I shared, one of the ones that we did, it was just kind of grid.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of it was just piggybacking off the turf stuff and the turf field.
Gotcha.
Looking at kind of where we are, conversations that Mike and I've had with, locker rooms and dressing rooms and stuff like that. I did add a few things that kind of a wish list for me, but, something that kind of said, like I said, more of just, where I know we're going the next couple of years, and then, we finish the floor and stuff.
Across the facilities plan.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool, thank you.
So the certification that you received, I put you in this master category. The criteria that you submitted for this, through this course is what earned the award, correct? It was all.
Yeah.
To get the certificate that you received.
Yeah, it was kind of handy, like, it was, like, I was able to, again, like my first one, like, I take so many classes and like column A, so many classes column B, so like, there's a total points for, there's also a capstone project, and the capstone project is either I made a project on school, or now like include this, so it was, I was able to include this and as my kind of capstone, so.
Okay.
Good job, thank you, Brandon.
I have more questions. I'm all for the safety plan. I'm
Yeah.
really intrigued about the safety
Yeah.
plan, to be quite frank. So is kind of the goal that at the beginning of every season, we run through the safety plan with the kids, and then we kind of all do it together? Okay, cool.
Yeah, like you say, like, we kind of, this student, like, I want this student to go meet the ambulance at the junction, I want this student to go grab the AED from the traction, and actually write down their names. So I know, like I said, Jennifer will go out there and practice with you and have a conversation, and
And we'll have like a notebook that we keep in the dugout, sorry. We've had a couple incidents, I'd like to know that I like to
Yes.
do the plan.
yeah, right now I have a master notebook, and Jennifer and I are working on getting the small back out there, everybody that wants to, go through, so, yeah, that's the goal.
At least I think as a
Yeah,
question,
please.
probably.
I remember doing it for volleyball either last year or the year before that. I talked about the AED and then like who would run out for an ambulance or whatever. I do remember doing that.
Good.
Cool. Makes sense. Very cool, thank you, Brandon,
Yeah.
very much. Mr. Sanders, sorry. Mr. Sanders. Okay, so I think next are our illustrious team of administrators. I'm working on my vocabulary this year. Yeah, are we slowing back? Or the board. We like illustrious, thank you. You're welcome.
So, I think just to start off, there is a video that Joel has, that he is gonna present for you.
To start by ways.
Yeah, here's your copy.
At Creswell School District, we're dedicated to providing a nurturing and comprehensive educational experience from kindergarten through 12th grade. We provide a dynamic and innovative learning environment that prepares students for college, career, and life. Creswell Elementary is where it all begins, with a focus on climate, culture, and community. We have fun to the schedule, offering enrichment opportunities and building leadership skills in our students. From elevating students who do the right thing, to establishing future career connections, and engaging in fun and educational studies. Our Mustangs get a strong start. At Creswell Middle School, we pride ourselves on offering rigorous instruction and differentiated learning alongside a variety of extracurricular activities to keep students actively engaged in their educational journey. We integrate technology and provide opportunities that broaden exposure to various industries. Our Vibrant Spirit Days and leadership initiatives foster a sense of community and personal growth. Above all, our dedicated staff are committed to each student's well-being and academic success, guided by best practices. Many of our award-winning faculty members have been honored for their exceptional dedication and contributions to our students' development. Creswell High School provides a comprehensive pathway to success, offering students opportunities to earn dual credits through 18 college-level courses and explore various career options through our robust CSD programs, which include things like agriculture, business, and digital arts. Our school fosters a positive culture climate with initiatives like the Leadership Academy and Sources of Strength, alongside a strong athletic program that's supported by our Athletic Booster Club and enhanced by new sports facilities. We're proud of our long-standing accreditation in CAPIA and our dedicated staff to ensure that every student is prepared for life beyond high school. The safety and security of our students and staff are paramount. We've made significant physical improvements across our campuses and implemented the standard response protocol from the high-level vaccination to ensure a safe learning environment. From Creswell Elementary to Creswell High School, our teachers and staff are committed to fostering a culture of excellence, collaboration, and continuous improvement. We also support student success by providing nutritious, tasty meals. And for the 24-25 school year, all students receive free breakfast and lunch to help them thrive academically and beyond. Our strong partnerships with families and the community are at the heart of what we do. From dedicated classroom volunteers to PTO, to boosters, to our IRC volunteers, and our family resource center. Together, we create a supportive environment where every student can thrive. As we look to the future, Creswell School District continues to innovate with a focus on online instruction, enhancing safety, and preparing our students for success in every future. Join us at Creswell School District, where we're committed to providing an exceptional educational experience for every student from kindergarten through 12th grade. Visit our website for more.
I love it.
I guess I'll stay up. We're kind of sitting in the background. But we came and presented to you all last spring and wanted to just continue to be able to share with you and also our community at large, just all of the meeting. We want to get out in front of that communication. And so we worked with Bethany and sort of a little bit of a project. We're hoping to create more specific videos maybe for our individual buildings and on different programs, just to kind of continue to educate the community on all the things that we have to offer in our schools, because we have a lot. For a small district, we have so much. I mean, I have children in a large district and they get like nothing our kids get, so we definitely want to continue to put out the good things. So thank you for letting me share with you our video, and it was sort of inspired by the idea that my assistant principal Summer Martin does these fabulous tours of our school. And so the idea is just to be able to kind of help people see all the different pieces. And yeah, do you guys have any questions for us about any of that?
A lot of it. Some of the pictures make me a little emotional, so it was very good. I love seeing the teachers and the kids. That's what it's about. So yeah, good job.
Big shout out to Bethany. She obviously, this is like something that she was excited to be able to put together for us, and kind of with their content, but obviously that was her beautiful voice and she put together the video. So
Yeah,
she should later. Yes. Thank you guys very much. And with that, Mr. Johnson, we're moving to you.
Okay. Any questions on my activities for the month of August? There, highlights, seismic and bond projects are on schedule. In fact, last night before the rain just dropped out of the sky today, they finished the roof on the entire gym building. So, yeah, finished it up last night. They knew for a week that, you know, it was gonna get wet this week, so they kind of stepped it up. But I think that's the highlight. I woke up this morning, I was like, man, I hope that thing goes up. And I came in and Joel said, they finished that last night. Ooh, okay. And then the back to school event, really enjoyed spending time with staff and talking with them. And it was a really good kickoff to the school year. Those were my highlights. And then the bond updates in green are the current ones since last month. And even some changes for updates since then. Well, no, I did update it the day before yesterday, so it's current.
Any questions before I ask my question?
I have kind of a general one. Since you received that donation of the shell of the building for the CTE, what's the next step with that?
So I had a conference with Rob, in the last week. Things are blending here.
All right.
In the last week, and, we talked about some final details that he needed. Some information for that building. Simultaneously, I've been having conversations with another, firm in Idaho who has, created a plan, a complete plan for a, CTE building out there. And they actually, Rob had manufactured that building for this plan. And so when they have a modified plan for a building our size, then Rob and I are going to get together and look at the benefits of what we have in our layout, what they have in that layout, and how we can create the best one out of the two.
Okay.
So that's where we're all with that. So that should be, I was expecting that yesterday, from Scott in Idaho, but I'll get it all to him by the end of the week and see if we have that yet.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Thanks.
How are the temporary covers holding up at the high school?
Well, they're not there.
Okay.
So they're holding up really fine.
So no damage. Yeah.
No damage.
On that, okay.
No, we have a couple of leads on some canopies, and as it turns out, you may recall, and during COVID, we were required to have outdoor seating. And so we actually have, somehow I remembered this one morning, we can drink coffee and realized we had 4 canopies that we had purchased, heavy duty canopies that we had used at the middle school. So we're gonna utilize those and then a bunch of other canopies that we were able to secure. We haven't set them up because the weather hadn't been, I mean, this one day event was kind of like a one day event. We'll have them set up before the real rain season gets here.
So do we still plan to put up temporary or we can't find them or?
The temporary, no, we have them.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put them all up.
Okay.
It's just that we'll get them set up before the rain actually.
Okay, great. I think that was my question. And is the gym fully operational now? The high school gym?
The mezzanine is not.
Yeah, the upstairs mezzanine isn't completed, and, that should be within a week, and then the weight room, the doors, we have the door frames, but the doors haven't arrived yet.
Okay.
And, we're expecting those tomorrow or Friday, and have the doors installed next week, the windows installed, so that weight room should be completed next week. The mezzanine is a week out from that, so in 2 weeks, for the mezzanine up there, to be finished, and then the bleachers come in, the new
Oh.
bleachers for the, west end to the gym.
North end.
North,
The one end of the gym, which is.
some on one side of that building.
Yeah.
I would add to though, that while the weight room, we're waiting for the doors, there are doors up and students are able to use that space. The weights are coming in and it's set up.
Okay.
So it's not a building. We're just waiting for the pretty doors.
Okay, cool. So the gym's open, locker rooms are open.
Yeah, it's
Always
all,
put back together.
yeah, it's all accessible to use. The only thing that's not accessible for use is the mezzanine upstairs.
Great.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Sarah, did I miss something? Okay, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
I think next is, do we have any public comments tonight? Okay. We have no unfinished business, so we move to new business. And we have an action item to approve the superintendent evaluation time.
I move to approve the timeline that is in our book.
Second that.
Any discussion before we vote?
I think it looks great, similar to what we've done in the past. So I think we understand that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if we talked about this last year or not. And am I just not reading it, because I feel like I've done that before? Are we doing any feedback from direct reports?
We did that last year.
We did that last year.
Yes, we did.
Bullet number 3.
Thank you. I knew I couldn't see it, so I was like, I'll just ask today. Okay. Anything other than my question? Okay, let's go all in favor? That's great. All opposed? Motion passes. Next action is to approve the superintendent board working agreement.
I have to approve the board superintendent working agreement for 2024.
Any discussion on this?
Mike, how's it working from your standpoint?
I think with the revisions that we made last year, it's smooth. Much smoother than it was prior to that, those enhanced the agreement, and, it's good, works for me.
It's been working for me too.
No complaint. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next is an action item to approve the collective, to approve the girls swimming collective.
I move to approve the application for our girls to swim at Cottage Grove.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I love that schools partner like this.
All opposed? Motion passes. Same, I think it's wonderful. Next, we have an information discussion item. I think this is for you, Mr. Johnson, on a show and tell for the seismic monitor.
Yeah, just wanted to follow up with the email that you all received from Bethany on the show and tell tour that we're having for the bond oversight committee and the board. That tour will start at the middle school, and then we'll come through the elementary school and then on to the high school, and I'll be pointing out, well, Bethany and Joe are gonna actually lead that tour. And they'll be describing the improvements that we've had with the seismic grants and the bond project.
Okay. I may be out of town. I will RSVP, but I am a question mark until I know if I have to work out of town.
That works for me because we have a 3-course meal set up and that looks great. And one more person.
Okay, good. I just want to be honest. This is kind of a question for Lacey. I was thinking about this, like, I'm totally all for this. But this doesn't, with all of us being together, that doesn't constitute a quorum or a meeting as long as we don't call a meeting. Is that the case?
Yeah, so my understanding is we can tour our facilities, and as long as we are not discussing board action
Okay.
and taking action. Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm recalling that rule.
Kind of like when we all attend the booster.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure we're doing it unintentionally.
Okay, I think so.
Wonderful. So RSVP to Bethany by the 23rd if you're interested.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Next is a discussion to reignite, I grabbed the wrong book on professional development for, if I can't say something nice, and don't worry, Mike, I still have.
I thought you were like super good. You brought the
I'm
other.
lucky I'm here, I guess. And so Debbie and I were talking, and we thought maybe just rediscussing starting over next month and starting with chapter, pretty short chapters. Should we do 2 chapters? I know we're like 3 or 4 pages long.
I'm fine with that, and I appreciate starting over because I don't remember what we read last year.
Yeah, same. Are you okay with that? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what we will do. Thank you both.
So the first, what, 2
I
chapters,
think the first 2, I mean,
should be at least 2 or 3 or something.
yeah, they're teeny tiny chapters. Okay, last is an informational item around the child abuse mandatory reporting training.
So, just wanted to check in with all of you and make sure that you received the, that email, through your district email on the, safe schools. The vector training, and you only are required to take this one module, this one training in, child abuse as a mandatory report. All the other ones are for staff. They just showed up on yours, and Joel followed up with an email informing you of that you're not required to take the other one. That's what the other ones are, what they require staff. All of us on staff are required to take.
Debbie wanted me to tell everyone she was going to do it right away, and she just wanted everyone to know. And I finished mine.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out who was first.
She was challenging. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you, Joel. That email actually didn't go to junk mail. My first one did. I don't know if anyone else's did, but the second one did not.
Okay, I also figured out how to have it show up as exempt all the other courses.
Cool.
So you, as far as reporting, it won't show that you have these other
No.
courses needed. They're officially non-exempt.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, both of you. Next, we move to trustee reports. Mike, are you okay if we start down there?
Yeah, what is it, a week or two ago, Mike gave me a tour of all the facilities and an update on what was going on, and that was really, I really enjoyed that, to see where the fields are in construction and where the buildings are going, and it just, got a lot of moving parts going on there. I didn't know he was a construction boss along with being a superintendent and teacher and everything else, but no, it was really a good tour. And I went to Lane CSD meeting last night, and, I met the superintendent of the Bethel district. And I don't want to go into all the details that that happened, but it was kind of like the OSBA meetings in Portland. I love going up there and just kind of walking around and listening to all the troubles everybody else has. We just don't have them here. And what they're short 500 kids. They don't have a full staff. They can't get enough people to give them a full staff. The staff they're going through made me really proud to be part of this. Mike and the principals and everybody are so far ahead of where they're at and where they want to be. It was really interesting to listen to him. He was really a nice guy. They invite a superintendent every month to speak about what's going on. And he had some good ideas on what they were gonna do and how they were gonna get there, but it just, I tried not to smile too much, but sat back and listened to him talking about it's either already started here or already been done here, and they're just getting their feet wet, so that was quite an experience. I kind of enjoyed that, but that's all I know.
Thank you. Sarah.
I haven't done much.
You've done all the football stuff?
I mean, I've done some football. I did have the opportunity to walk the, coffee shop and the commons.
Oh, yeah.
You saved it.
Yeah.
I have not,
So I can tell you what Sarah has done. She's made multiple dinners for the football team, and she drives those kids around. She's coordinated lots of things, but. Or I can pull pork sandwiches to them. I know this, but I just all of the past year.
Y'all favorite derby, so you took the football during Friday night.
Yeah.
I cut it, so that was good.
Yeah,
it turns out I've really done a lot.
yeah. We're all here for you, Sarah.
I don't know. It's life.
Thank you.
Yeah, so last month for our board evaluation, one of the areas that we thought we would focus on is advocacy. So I made some phone calls this month, and of course, the legislature, there's no blueprint on what's happening, it's too early. However, people have some spidey senses on maybe what could be picked up. And clearly, funding is going to be in a large part of whatever happens. And there was a bill that was getting through the legislature last year, but it kind of died at the last part, but there's still a lot of energy behind it. It is the bill related to removing the cap on funding for special education. Right now, I believe it's capped, Chanel, at 11%. And I had to read through the bill again, because I was like, what is that? Because I couldn't remember. But all of the background behind it was that statewide, there's 15% of our kids in special education, but they're capping every school district at 11%. And then, of course, the state formula has a lot of nuances. And so I visited with Mike about a potential approach for us to start stepping in and building our knowledge base so that we're ready to step into some conversations when they happen. And what I would recommend is next month, have Mike and Chanel walk us through the details of the current state formula. Because it sounds like none of the legislators are happy with the quality education model not being funded. We have a quality education model. They know it now needs to be updated, and they've never been able to fund it. And so it leads to the fighting, the frustration, right? So if that is a part of where they're gonna go with funding, a starting spot would be understanding what is the current state formula, digging into what is the quality education model, the components. And then a next step would be to understand if this is our current funding and we have a strategic plan from our community that says this is where we want to go academically, what is the cost of that and what's the gap, right? Because we're going to be taking all of our talking points from this is what Creswell wants us to do. Here's our strategic plan. This is what our community has asked for, and we need this much more to get it done. Right, and then we'll have that so that if there's quality education model conversations, we can compare where our strategic plan is with that, right? So I'm thinking just building our knowledge based on some of the components that we have will help us spread the learning out so that it's not crash course time before the legislature starts. And we're positioned to go wherever OSBA and COSA and we decide we want to go as a district. So if that sounds okay to start stepping into some of that, I'll talk with Mike about like details and agenda items for next time.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay,
I think it's great.
okay, sweet.
I'm slowly keeping a list now of agenda items. That's what I was typing to remind me, so when we talk next month around a presentation on state funding formula and quality education model, and then maybe long-term strategic plan versus state funding.
Yeah,
So
and the cost of it, yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you for taking. it.
Yes.
So can I make a couple of comments?
Of course, please.
One is that, as we prepare to go into this next, the next discussion with the legislature and the lobbying that's going to be happening. As Lacey said, there's a lot of fluidity right now in what the funding will be, what sources are they going to use, what strategies do they have to increase it, and those kinds of things. I mean, just flat out, straight out, our roll-up costs are over 4%. And their roll-up estimate is 2%. And it's been that way. So we're always in a 2% deficit on a roll-up cost, which means we're cutting back on something every time we get into a new school year and a new biennium. But that's just 1 point, just on 2%. We're always looking for grants to cover that gap. And that's just the one gap that starts out. But we've only, I think the closest this state has ever come to the QEM, the quality education model, is 70% funded. Never
Yeah,
come
we're like
closer.
$1 billion off, just $1 billion.
And that's a full study on what kids need to learn and succeed in school. So if you look at it that way, we're at a 30% deficit and always have been. And it's no wonder that we are ranked where we are in the state in quality education. That's just my little stuff on my soapbox, but on the other end, looking to the cup half full. OSBA Regional Roadshow, that's when the OSBA leadership comes to different regions. And school board members and superintendents attend those, and they can ask OSBA what's happening with the next session. And what bills are going to be up for there. How can we advocate for those? The next OSB Regional Roadshow in Lane County at the CSD will be on Tuesday, October 15th. Last year, Tim attended that with me. I think the year before it was Mike. But, you know, all board members are welcome to attend there, and dinner is provided. So we'll have RSVP for that.
So that's the week after our next school board meeting, right? The next school board meeting will be October 9th. The second Wednesday. So we could always, if people are interested, we can always talk about it more in that meeting too, to see if more people would like to come.
Just a heads up that that's coming. And then, the OSBA convention, when we attend that convention in November, we're going to get a lot more information on the things that are happening between, the legislature and the agencies, OSBA, COSA, and, the superintendent's council. All those agencies are going to be talking about what we need and how we can get there. And in that convention, you'll hear a lot about the strategies and the needs that we have and how those can be addressed. So those are just a couple of things that are on the horizon, down these lines of advocacy. We've also talked to Tony about hosting a legislative representative session here in Lane County for all the districts in Lane County. And so he's going to be talking with the leadership at OSBA and the leadership at COSA and trying to get more leverage to get participation level of our representatives to a higher level.
If he is able to bring our House and Senate down, at least our representatives, I remember Creswell is split in half, so we have 4, not just 2. We want to make sure we have good talking points, because if we have them listening to Lane County, I remember Creswell's voice to be quite loud at that. So November, December, give us time to build our story.
We will have our story.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, what a great update.
Yeah. Mine is gonna be lackluster following all of that hard work that she's done. I think mine is less food than Sarah's at football, but I've made a lot of play cards in the last couple of months. And we've had our leadership meeting and we're working on the policy meeting.
Policy, yes. We are working to schedule a policy.
Okay, and I think it's me and Marion. And Blake, yeah,
We have a new person to the party.
yeah, I'm very excited, old and new. Old and new. It's just as
I'm
fun.
happy to return.
Yeah.
Can't accept your Christmas.
I don't know. Oh, Sarah, will you get them for me? So I couldn't. Just kidding. Okay, so with that, we are to our last item. Is there just a reminder, if there's any requests for future agenda items, you can always ask in this meeting, or you can email Debbie, and we will work on getting them on the agenda. So if there's topics we've missed on these, please let us know. And with that, we are ready to adjourn. Thank you all. Have a great night.